Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. I thought I was losing my faith, but I was just exhausted from carrying it alone.
Yeah, I've been holding on so tight, my knuckles turning white. Fighting every battle, praying through the night. Thought if I start moving, faith would slip away. So I kept pushing forward even when I couldn't pray. They told me real believers never question, never tire. That doubt meant I was backsliding, losing my desire. So I hid my weariness behind a worship song. Pretended I was strong when everything felt wrong. But faith was getting heavy, shoulders couldn't bear the weight. But trying to believe when I was running on empty faith. I wasn't walking away from God, I just needed to sit down. My faith wasn't dying, it was just wearing out. And Jesus met me in that tire, that exhausted place. Said, child, you don't have to carry what I already embraced. Rest is in rebellion, pausing is a sin. Sometimes faith looks like letting me carry you again. I'm not losing faith, I'm just losing strength. And that's when you need me, that's when your grace makes sense. When faith doesn't die, it just gets tired. When I can't hold on, you hold me tighter. Not every pause is rebellion or retreat. Sometimes faith just needs to rest at Jesus' feet. I'm not backsliding, I'm just weary now. And you said come rest, that's what faith allows. When faith doesn't die, it just gets tired. You renew my strength when I'm barely inspired. Yeah. I used to think that resting meant I didn't trust enough. That real faith was constant motion, always being tough. But Jesus withdrew to pray, the disciples fell asleep. Even God rested on the seventh day that runs deep. So maybe my exhaustion isn't failure or belief. Maybe it's a signal that I need divine relief. That faith was never meant to be a burden I sustain, but a relationship where I could bring my weariness and pain. I'm learning that the strongest faith knows when to say I'm spent. That admitting I'm exhausted isn't losing what God sent. It's acknowledging I'm human, that I need a strength of mind. That faith looks like surrender when I'm at the end of the line. So I'm laying down the pressure to perform my faith perfectly. Bringing God my tired spirit, my worn out energy, and trusting that he'll meet me not with judgment but with grace. That he'll restore my soul and I just need a resting place. Rest is not rebellion, pausing is not defeat. You're inviting me to lay down, now that at your feet. Renew my strength like eagle, restore what's worn and torn. My faith's not dying, Jesus, it's just being reborn. When faith doesn't die, it just gets tired. I'm so tired. When I can't hold on, you hold me tighter. Hold me. Not every pause is rebellion or retreat. It's not giving up. Sometimes faith just needs to rest at Jesus' feet. I need rest. I'm not backsliding, I'm just weary now. So weary. And you said come rest, that's what faith allows. You said rest. This faith doesn't die, it just gets tired. Still believing. You renew my strength when I'm barely inspired. Renew me now.
He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Isaiah 40:29-31. I'm learning that faith is seasons, and weariness is one of them. Not every quiet moment means I'm walking away. Sometimes it just means I need to be carried. Jesus didn't condemn the tired, he invited them to rest. He didn't push the weary to keep going. He said, come lay your burden down. So I'm giving myself permission to be tired and still faithful, to pause and still believe, to rest and still belong. My faith isn't measured by my energy level, it's anchored in the one who never tires, who sustains me when I can't sustain myself, who holds my faith when I'm too weak to hold it. This isn't the end of my faith, it's just a place where I learn that his strength is made perfect in my weakness. I'm tired, but I'm not done. I'm weary, but I'm not lost. I'm resting in the arms of the God who never sleeps, so I can wake refreshed and walk again.
Spiritual core.
Faith doesn't always manifest as constant certainty. Sometimes it looks like exhaustion and the courage to rest. Oh, not every pause is backsliding. Sometimes it's wisdom God invites the weary to rest. And that rest is an act of faith, trusting him to sustain what we can no longer carry.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding.
In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. I was drowning in questions until I learned to rest in his answers.
I used to need an explanation for everything I faced. Couldn't move forward till I understood my place. Every trial, every struggle had to make sense first. My mind was working overtime, analyzing every verse. I told God, show me the blueprint, let me see the plan. Couldn't surrender to his will till I could understand. But faith and logic don't always walk the same road, and my need for answers became my heaviest load. I was paralyzed by questions, frozen by the why. Couldn't worship in a storm, cause I was asking how and why. My anxiety was rooted in needing the control, needing every detail mapped before I let go. Then God said, child, you're exhausting yourself trying to know what I've already handled. You need to let it go. Trust isn't understanding, it's surrendering the need to figure out my ways before you choose to I don't have to understand it to believe that you are good. I don't need all the answers, you've already done what you should. I learned to trust God when I stopped trying to understand. Let go of control and place my life in his hands. Not every question needs an answer right away. Sometimes faith is trusting when I can't see the way. He's working in the mystery, moving in the unknown. I don't need to comprehend to know I'm not alone. I learned to trust God when I stopped trying to understand, and found peace in surrendering to his plan. I was carrying a weight of figuring it all out, treating faith like a puzzle I had to solve, no doubt. But God's ways are higher, his thoughts beyond my reach, and trying to understand him was keeping me from peace. So I started saying, God, I don't get this at all, but I'm choosing to trust you even when I can't see the call. And something shifted when I stopped demanding clarity, when I let go of control and embrace the mystery. The anxiety lessened when I stopped needing to know why, when I accepted that some things aren't mine to analyze. That God's sovereignty means I can rest in what I can't explain, that his faithfulness is constant even when I can't see his aim. Now I bring my questions, but I don't demand the answers. I lay them at his feet like an offering of surrender, and trust that he's working even in what I don't understand. That his love is the foundation even when I can't see his hand. I'm letting go of the need to figure you out completely. I'm resting in the mystery, trusting you to lead me. Your ways are higher, your thoughts beyond my mind, and that's okay now. I'm finding peace in what I can't do. I learned to trust God when I stopped trying to understand. Level the control and place my life in his hands. Not every question needs an answer right away. Sometimes faith is trusting when I can't see the way. He's working in the mystery, moving in the unknown. I don't need to comprehend to know I'm not alone. I learned to trust God when I stopped trying to understand, and found peace in surrendering to his plan.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord, as the heavens are higher than the earth. So are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Isaiah 55:8-9. I'm learning that peace doesn't come from understanding, it comes from trusting the one who understands everything. I don't need to figure out God's ways, I just need to follow his lead. My need for control was disguised as wisdom, but it was really fear masquerading as prudence. True wisdom is knowing when to stop asking why and start trusting who. So I'm releasing my grip on needing to know, surrendering my demand for explanations, and resting in the character of God, who is faithful even in the mystery. I don't have all the answers, but I know the one who does, and that's enough. That's more than enough.
Before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear. Isaiah 65:24.
When even prayer felt too heavy, he came anyway. I woke up empty, couldn't find the words to pray. My spirit was so tired, had nothing left to say. I've been performing my devotion, checking boxes every day. But that morning I just laid there, had no strength to engage. No Bible reading, no worship song, no eloquent request. Just silence and exhaustion and a heart that needed rest. I felt guilty for the nothing, felt ashamed I couldn't muster the energy to reach for God the way I thought I should. But something happened in that quiet, in that empty space. I felt him there beside me without me seeking his face. He didn't wait for my petition or my perfect prayer. He showed up in my weakness, in my too tired to care. And I realized that God doesn't need my performance, doesn't wait for my words to know what my heart endorses. He meets me in the silence when I can't articulate. He's present in the nothing when I've got no faith to demonstrate. You don't need my words, you already know my heart. You meet me in the silence, that's where healing starts. Jesus found me on the day I asked for nothing, when even prayer felt like too much to bring. He didn't wait for my perfect words. He came to me and spoke in undeserved. His love doesn't wait for my performance. His presence doesn't need my eloquence. Jesus found me on the day I asked for nothing, and loved me in my silence just the same. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I used to think that prayer was something I had to earn, that God would only listen if I had the right words to discern. But he's not waiting on my speeches or my polished pleas. He hears the groans too deep for words, the prayers I can't release. The Holy Spirit intercedes when I don't know what to say. When my mind is blank and weary, he still makes a way. God's not dependent on my ability to articulate. He reads my heart, he knows my thoughts. He doesn't need me to narrate. So now I come to him in silence more than ever before. Not because I'm holy, but because I can do more. And in that quiet, honest space where I got nothing to prove, I feel his presence stronger than when I try to move. He said I love you when you're nothing and you're empty and you're worn. I don't need your best performance, I just want you in the storm. Come as you are, bring your tide, bring your silent, bring your bear. I'll meet you in the nothing cause I'm always there. When I have no words left, you still hear my heart. When I can't even pray, you don't depart. Your love doesn't need my eloquent speech. You meet me in silence, that's where you reach. Jesus found me on the day I asked for nothing. I had nothing, and when even prayer felt like too much to bring, too heavy. He didn't wait for my perfect words. He came to me and spoke in undeserved. His love doesn't wait for my performance. His presence doesn't need my eloquence. Jesus found me on the day I asked for nothing, and loved me in my silence just the same. The Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us through wordless groans, Romans 8:26. I used to think that prayer required energy, that I needed to come to God with something to say. But he doesn't wait for my words. He meets me in the silence, when I'm too tired to speak, when I'm too empty to ask, when I have nothing to offer, he's already there. It's his grace, not waiting for my performance, but present in my weakness, not requiring my eloquence, but understanding my heart, so I'm done feeling guilty. For the days I can pray perfectly, for the mornings I have no words, for the moments I come with nothing, because God doesn't need my something, he just wants my presence. And even in my nothing, his love remains heavy.
For physical training is of some value, but godliness is value for all things, holding promise for both the present life and the life to come. 1 Timothy 4:8. I mastered discipline in the gym, but couldn't surrender control to him.
I can push through pain, hit PRs every week, control my diet, my routine, stay consistent, never weak. 5 a.m. mornings, meal prep on point. My body was a temple that I kept in perfect joint, but when it came to letting God control my life, surrendering my plans, my will that cut like a knife. I could discipline my flesh, but couldn't tame my pride. Could train my muscles, but my heart stayed fortified. See, physical discipline gave me something I can measure. Progress I could see, gains I could treasure. The spiritual surrender required letting go of outcomes I can't control, or things I'll never know. I was strong in the gym, but weak in my surrender. Could lift heavy weights, but couldn't yield my agenda. Master self-control and rest, but not in trust. Physical discipline was easier than spiritual thirst. I can train my body, but I can train my soul. Surrender isn't something I can force or control. Training my body was easy, surrender my heart was war. I can master discipline, but couldn't open heaven's door. Physical strength is nothing if my spirit's still bound. God wants my surrender more than another round. I can build my physique, but if I don't yield my will, I'm just a strong vessel, but empty and still. Training my body was easy, surrendering my heart was real. The challenge that only His grace can heal. I realized that control my idols got His health, that my discipline was really pride masking itself. I can manage every macro, every rep, every set, but letting God lead my life, that made me sweat. Surrender minute, now I'm not in command. That I can't work out my way to God's perfect plan. That spiritual growth isn't something I achieve, it's something I receive when I finally believe. So I started bringing God my need for control, my fear, surrendering my independent soul. And He showed me that real strength is laying it down, that the power I was seeking comes when I'm not wearing the crown. Now I train with purpose, but not as my God. My body's important, but it's not where I'm at. The real work is daily dying to self, surrendering control and depending on His help. Teach me to surrender, like I've learned discipline, to yield my heart to You, like I yield in the gym. Physical strength with faith, but a surrender soul lies forever with You. That's my ultimate goal. Training my body was easy, surrendering my heart was war. I can master discipline, but couldn't open heaven's door. Physical strength is nothing if my spirit's still bound. God was my surrender more than another round. I can build my physique, but if I don't yield my will, friends a strong vessel, but empty and still. Training my body was easy, surrendering my heart was real. The challenge that only His grace can help.
Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. 1 Corinthians 6:19. I'm learning that true strength isn't just what I can lift, but what I can lay down.
Physical discipline has its place,
But spiritual surrender is the foundation.
I can work on my way to holiness.
I can only receive it through surrender,
So now I train my body,
not as an idol, but as stewardship.
not for control, but for service.
Not to prove my strength,
But to honor the one who made me.
but to honor the one who made me.
I'm learning daily to surrender my heart with the same consistency I bring to my training. Because the real transformation isn't in my muscle, it's in my surrender to the God who made me and loves me completely.
After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. 1 Kings 19:12. My mind was a storm, but His voice was the calm.
Anxiety was screaming in my head at 3 a.m. Every worst case scenario playing again and again. My chest was tight, my breathing shallow, heart was racing fast. The noise inside was deafening, didn't think I'd last. It told me I was failing, told me I wouldn't make it through, told me everybody's gonna leave, told me nothing I do is true. The volume was increasing, couldn't silence the attack. Every fear I'd ever had came rushing back. I tried to fight it with my logic, tried to reason it away, but anxiety don't listen when you tell it not to stay. I was drowning in the noise, couldn't hear above the sound. Then underneath the chaos, something gentle I found. Jesus wasn't shouting, wasn't louder than the fear, but His whisper cut through everything and I could hear Him clear. He said, I'm here with you, child, in the middle of the storm. My peace is an absence of the noise, it's the presence you were born for. In the chaos you were speaking, in the panic you were peace. Your whisper was the loudest voice that brought my soul relief. Anxiety screamed, but Jesus whispered louder. In the noise of my mind, he was the power. Not by force, but by presence, gentle and true. His still small voice was breaking through. When my thoughts were racing, spinning out of control, he whispered, I am with you to my weak soul. Anxiety screamed, but Jesus whispered louder. And his peace was stronger than my darkest hour. I learned that God doesn't always silence the storm in my head. Sometimes he speaks softly in the middle of the dread. His whisper isn't defeated by anxiety's roar. It's powerful enough to reach me at my core. He didn't rebuke me for the fear, didn't shame me for the doubt. Just met me in the panic and gently let me out. Not by removing all the noise, but by being present in it. Reminding me his truth outlasts every anxious minute. So when my mind starts spiraling, when the thoughts begin to race, I've learned to listen for his whisper in that frantic space. It's not always loud or obvious, sometimes it's barely there, but it's consistent, it's faithful, it's the voice of his care. He says, I've got you, I'm not leaving, you're not alone in this fight. My presence is your anchor when anxiety takes flight. Breathe in my peace, exhale the fear. I'm whispering truth, just draw near. When the noise gets loud and I can't find my way, teach me to listen for what you have to say. Your whisper is powerful, more than any shout. Your gentle voice of truth is what leads me out. Anxiety screamed, but Jesus whispered louder. The noise in my mind, he was a power. Not by force, but by presence, gentle and true. His still small voice was breaking through. When my thoughts were racing, spinning out of control, he whispered, I am with you to my weary soul. Anxiety screamed, but Jesus whispered louder. And his peace was stronger than my darkest hour. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:6-7. I'm learning that peace isn't the absence of noise, it's the presence of God in the middle of it. Anxiety may scream its lies, but Jesus whispers truth, and his whisper is more powerful than any panic attack. His gentle voice carries more authority than every fearful thought. So when my mind races, I'm training myself to listen, not for the loudest voice, but for the truest one. Jesus doesn't shout over anxiety, he whispers underneath it. And his whisper is enough to bring me peace. I don't have to silence every fear to hear his voice. I just have to listen for the gentle truth that's always there, always present, always whispering. I am with you. Spiritual core. God often speaks not in the chaos, but through it. Not by silencing anxiety, but by his gentle presence within it. His whisper of truth is more powerful than anxiety's scream. Peace comes not from the absence of fear, but from the presence of Christ in the midst of it.
You have forsaken the love you had at first. Revelation 2:4. Perfect attendance, perfect routine, but something was missing underneath. I was checking every box on my spiritual to-do list. Morning devotion, Bible reading, never miss. Pray before meals, served at church every week. Had the Christian life down to a system technique. My calendar was full of ministry and meetings. My Instagram show worship, my highlight reel was gleaming. I knew the right answers, could quote the proper verse, but inside I was hollow, felt like I was cursed. I was doing everything right, but feeling everything wrong. Going through the motions like a well-rehearsed song. Performance was perfect, but the passion was gone. My faith became a duty, a routine I just carried on. I wonder why my prayers felt like they hit the ceiling, why worship felt mechanical, why I wasn't feeling the presence I once knew, the fire I once had. I was spiritually active but emotionally sad. I had the form of godliness but denied His power within. I was doing all the right things, but my heart was wearing thin. I was doing everything right and still felt empty. Had the routine down but lost the intimacy. Checked the boxes, played the part, said the prayers. Somewhere along the way He wasn't really there. Not because He left, but because I stopped pursuing. Traded relationship for rituals I was doing everything right and still felt empty. Until I realized religion isn't what He's asking from me. I look like a model Christian on the outside looking in, but God was asking, where's your heart? Where have you been? I was so busy doing for Him that I forgot to be with Him. So caught up in the service that I missed the presence given. I read about the Pharisees and saw myself in them. Had the law down perfect, but my love was growing dim. Jesus called them whitewashed tombs, all clean on the outside, but inside they were dead, their hearts had died. That's when I realized my emptiness wasn't God's absence. It was me trading intimacy for religious passions. I was performing my faith instead of living it real. More concerned with looking spiritual than learning how to feel. So I stopped going through the motions and started getting honest. Told God I'm tired of pretending, tired of being flawless. I want You, not just a routine, not just a show. I want the relationship back to fire I used to know. Take me back to my first love, when it wasn't about performance, when worship was authentic, not just religious endurance. I don't want a checklist faith, I want to live in connection. Restore the passion, Lord, revive my heart's affection. I was doing everything right and still felt empty. Had to reaching down but lost the intimacy. Hit the boxes, played the part, said the prayers. Somewhere along the way He wasn't really there. Not because He left, but because I stopped pursuing. Same relationship for rituals I was doing. Living right and still felt empty. Till I realized religion isn't what He's asking. He wants my heart. These people honor Me with their lips, but their hearts are far from Me. They worship Me in vain. Their teachings are merely human rules. Matthew 15:8-9. God doesn't want my perfect performance. He wants my present heart. He's not impressed by my religious routine. He's looking for a thin relationship. I can do all the right things and still miss the whole point. If my heart isn't engaged, if my love isn't real. So I'm trading a checklist for genuine connection, exchanging duty for devotion, performance for presence. I'm learning that faith isn't about doing everything right. It's about being with the one who makes everything right. Lord, take my routine and breathe life into it again. I don't want empty rituals, I want You, just You. That's all I need.
But the Lord said to Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7.
I built my body while my soul was breaking, looking strong while slowly fading. I was in the gym every morning before dawn, sculpting my physique, building muscle, getting strong. People saw the progress, complimented the gains, but nobody could see I was running from the pain. I used the weights to numb what I was feeling deep inside. Every rep was an escape, every set was where I'd hide. My body getting harder while my heart was getting hollow. I was chasing physical strength to avoid what I can swallow. They said, man, you're dedicated, you're an inspiration. But really I was masking depression with perspiration. My six-pack couldn't hide the brokenness I carried. My biceps couldn't lift the weight of trauma I've been burying. I looked healthy in the mirror but was dying in my soul. Building my exterior while ignoring the internal toll. Thought if I just got stronger maybe I'd feel better. But physical transformation can't heal a wounded sinner. I was strong where people could see, but broken where they couldn't. Building up the outside while the inside wouldn't. I got strong on the outside while crumbling on the inside. Built a fortress with my body, but my soul had nowhere to hide. Everyone saw the muscle, no one saw the pain. I was winning in the gym, but losing in my brain. Physical strength can't heal what's broken in the heart. God was calling me to heal, not just to look the part. I got strong on the outside while crumbling on the inside. Until I learned that real strength means letting Jesus in the guy. I realized that fitness became my false salvation. My identity, my worth, my form of medication. I was worshiping at the altar of aesthetic and performance, while my mental health was screaming for some reinforcement. God started showing me that strength isn't just physical. That true power comes from being spiritually and mentally whole. That I could deadlift twice my weight and still be weak inside if I never dealt with the wounds that I tried to hide. So I stopped using the gym as my escape from reality and started bringing God my trauma, my anxiety. Started going to therapy, started processing the pain. Started realizing that healing wasn't just physical gain. Now I still train my body, but with different motivation. Not to hide from my problems, but for proper stewardship and dedication. I'm working on my inner man as much as the exterior, cause real strength is being whole, not just looking superior. Heal me from the inside out, not just the surface level. I don't wanna look strong, I wanna be whole and settled. Build my character, Lord, more than my physique. True strength is surrender, not just physical peak. I got strong on the outside while crumbling on the inside. Crumbling down. Built a fortress with my body, but my soul had nowhere to hide. Everyone saw the muscle, no one saw the pain. I was winning in the gym, but losing in my brain. Physical strength can't heal what's broken in the heart. God was calling me to heal, not just to look the part. I got strong on the outside while crumbling on the inside, but not anymore. That real strength, real strength, letting Jesus in the guide. He's my strength. For physical training is of some value, but godliness is value for all things. Holding promise for both the present life and the life to come, 1 Timothy 4:8. I'm learning that true strength isn't measured in pounds lifted or inches gained. It's measured in healing received and wounds acknowledged and help accepted. The gym has its place, physical health matters, but it can't be my escape from what needs to be faced. I'm pursuing wholeness now, not just wellness. Healing on the inside, not just strength on the outside. Because what good is a strong body if my soul is still broken? What's the point of physical discipline if my heart is still hurting? God wants all of me healthy, inside and out, soul and body, heart and muscles. So I'm bringing Him, both the weights and the wound, the training and the trauma, and trusting Him to make me truly strong.
The Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love. Psalm 33:8. When everyone else demanded speed, He met me where I was.
I was afraid that God would leave me if I moved too slow, that his patience had a limit, that he let me go. I felt the pressure from the culture, from the church, from the grind. Hurry up, catch up, get it together, don't fall behind. But I was barely keeping up, struggling just to breathe. My faith was in survival mode, couldn't find relief. I thought God was disappointed, tapping his foot, waiting for me to get my act together, stop hesitating. And then I read about the shepherd who leaves the 99 to go and find the one that's lost, taking all the time. I saw Jesus with the woman at the well that day, not rushing through the conversation, he had time to stay. He didn't rush the disciples when they didn't understand, didn't abandon Peter when he failed to take a stand. He walked with them patiently, taught them as they went, and I realized his pace for me is different than what culture meant. You're not tapping your foot, waiting for me to speed up. You're walking beside me, filling my empty cup. Jesus didn't rush me, he walked at my pace when I couldn't run. He showed me grace, he's not demanding speed, he's acquiring faith. Not about how fast I go, but that I don't lose my way. The world says hurry up, but he says take your time. He's more concerned with my heart than my climb. Jesus didn't rush me, he walked in my pace, and the patience changed everything about my race. I stopped comparing my progress to everyone else's highlights, stopped feeling guilty for taking longer to get it right. Some people sprint through sanctification, some people walk, but God meets each of us exactly where we are in the flight. He's not a drill sergeant screaming faster, don't you quit. He's a loving father saying rest when you need it. His timeline isn't worried about my speed of transformation, he's committed to the process, not just the destination. I'm learning that faithfulness isn't measured by velocity, it's measured by consistency, by honest authenticity. That God would rather I walk slowly in the right direction than sprint the wrong way, chasing worldly perfection. So I'm giving myself grace when my pace feels slow, trusting that God's with me in the ebb and the flow. He's not rushing my healing, not speeding my growth. He's walking beside me, and that's more than most. You're not in a hurry, you've got all the time. You're patient with my process, you're gentle, you're kind. When I feel like I'm falling behind everyone else, you remind me your pace, it's perfect for my Jesus didn't rush me, he walked at my pace, my own I couldn't run, he showed me grace, he's not demanding speed, he's acquired faith. And how fast I go, but that I don't lose. The world says hurry up, but he says take your time. He's more concerned with my heart than my crime. Jesus didn't rush me, he walked at my pace, he changed everything about me. Everything changed. He tends his flock like a shepherd, he gathers the lambs in his arms and carries them close to his heart. He gently leads those that have young Isaiah 40:11. I used to think God was impatient, waiting for me to hurry up and get better, but he's not like that. He's patient beyond measure. He doesn't compare my pace to others, doesn't demand I move faster than I'm able to sustain. He walks with me at my speed, in my season. This doesn't mean I'm lazy or making excuses, it means I'm trusting his time and his process, his patience with me. He's more interested in me finishing than in me sprinting and burning out. He's committed to my transformation, however long it takes. So I'm letting go of the pressure to keep up with everyone else, and I'm trusting that Jesus knows exactly the pace I need, and he's walking it with me every single step.
The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still, Exodus 14:14. I thought his silence meant he left me, but he was working in the quiet. I was praying for answers, begging God to speak, crying out for direction every single week. But the heavens felt like brass, no response came through. And I started to believe that maybe he was done with me too. I thought his silence was rejection, punishment for my sin, that he turned his back, left me out in the wind. I felt abandoned in the quiet, like he didn't care, like my prayers were bouncing off the ceiling, going nowhere. But then I learned that God's silence isn't always absence. Sometimes it's protection, sometimes it's his presence, working in ways I can't see, can't comprehend. His quiet isn't punishment, it's process in the end. He was teaching me to trust him without constant confirmation, to walk by faith, not by feeling or immediate validation. Silence wasn't him leaving, it was him preparing, doing work beneath the surface while I thought he wasn't caring. Your silence wasn't anger,
It was deeper work being done. You were moving in the quiet before I saw what you begun. When silence wasn't punishment but care, you were protecting me, working everywhere. I couldn't hear your voice, but you never left my side. You were doing something deeper, that time we're revealing time. Your quiet wasn't absence, it was process and refining, teaching me to trust you when I couldn't see your time. And when silence wasn't punishment but care, I learned you're always present, even in the silent air. I look back at the seasons where God seemed most quiet and realized those were the times He was working the hardest. While I was demanding answers, He was changing my heart. While I wanted quick fixes, He was rewriting my start. Sometimes God is silent because we're not ready for the answer. Sometimes the quiet is where character grows faster. He's not withholding because He's mean or doesn't care. He's protecting us from things we're not prepared to bear. I think about Jesus sleeping in the boat during the storm. His silence wasn't neglect, He was teaching them a form of faith that doesn't panic when circumstances get loud, that trusts His presence even when He's not speaking out. So now when I pray and don't get immediate reply, I don't assume He's left, I don't question why. I trust that in the silence He's still sovereign, still good, still working all things together like He said He would. Teach me to trust when I can't hear your voice, to believe you're still moving, to make faith my choice. Your silence is sacred, it's where deep work is done. I'm learning to rest here until the work is done. When silence wasn't punishment but care, you were protecting me, working everywhere. I couldn't hear your voice, but you never left my side. Never there was something deeper, that time we're revealing time. So quiet wasn't absence, it was process and refining, teaching me to trust you when I couldn't see your time. Trust your time but care. I learned you're always present, even in the silent air. Always there.
For God alone, oh my soul, wait in silence, for my hope is from Him. Psalm 62. I'm learning that God's silence is not His absence. It's often His protection, His preparation, His process. Sometimes He's quiet because He's doing work that words would interrupt, that explanations would complicate. He's teaching me a faith that doesn't need constant reassurance, a trust that doesn't require immediate answers. His silence is sacred. It's where transformation happens, where dependence deepens, where faith becomes real. So when I pray and hear nothing back, I'm learning to trust that He's still present, still working, still caring. His silence isn't punishment. It's the sound of Him doing something so deep that words can't capture it. And I'm learning to rest there in the quiet confidence that He's always present, even when He's silent. God's silence is not abandonment or punishment. It's often His way of protecting us, preparing us, or doing deeper work in our lives. He teaches us to trust Him without constant verbal confirmation, to walk by faith and not just by feelings. His quiet presence is still His presence. And sometimes the most profound work happens in the silence.
In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. Romans 8:26. When I couldn't find the words, the waste became my altar.
I woke up with nothing left to say to God that day. My prayers felt empty, couldn't find the words to pray. So I laced up my shoes, walked into the gym, and started lifting weights. Surrendering to him, every red became a cry. I couldn't articulate, every step became a prayer. I couldn't formulate, the movement was my worship when my mouth was dry. The sweat was my offering, my wordless cry. I wasn't training to escape, I was training to connect with the God who understands what words can't express. My body came to language when my voice went quiet. Each exercise a conversation in a holy ride. The burden came my all to the platform, sacred ground. I met God in the movement when no words could be found. He didn't need my eloquence or perfect prayer. He met me in the motion, in the burden I would bear. When words failed me, Lord, my body speaks for me. This movement is my worship, my surrender to your sovereignty. Training became prayer when my words ran out. Movement was my worship, my surrender, my shout. I met you in the struggle, in the waiting, in the pain. Every rep was in the session when I couldn't say a name. You don't need my perfect words, you hear my heart, the motion. The sweat is my devotion, this grind is my emotion. Training became prayer when my words ran out. And I found you in the movement, heard you in the silence loud. Yeah, I used to think that prayer required perfect phrases, that worship needed words and eloquent praises. But David danced before the Lord with all his might. Sometimes worship is the movement, not just words we write. So when my mind is heavy and my soul is burdened down, I take it to the gents, let my holy ground. Each push up is a help me, each pull up is a plea. Every squat is I surrender, every mile is set me free. The pain I feel in training mirrors pain I feel inside. And as I push through physical, I'm pushing through the tide. Spiritual battles that words can't explain, but my body understands and processes the pain. God meets me in the concrete, in the iron, and the steel, in the physical exertion when my spirit starts to heal. Training isn't just for strength, it's communion with my king. It's prayer without the words, it's the sacrifice I bring. My body is a temple, this movement is my praise. You meet me in the physical as I navigate each day. When I have no words left, my body speaks for me. This training is my worship, my prayer on bending knee. Training became prayer when my words ran out. The movement was my worship, my surrender, my shout. I met you in the struggle, in the waiting, in the pain. Every rep was in a session when I couldn't say it. You don't need my perfect words, you hear my heart through motion. The sweat is my devotion, this grind is my emotion. Training with me became prayer when my words ran out. And I found you in the movement, heard you in the silence loud. You were there. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Romans 12:1. I'm learning that worship isn't limited to words, that prayer can be movement when language feels absurd. God understands the groans, the cries too deep for speech. He meets me in emotion when words I cannot reach. So I bring him my body, my strength, my sweat, my strength. I offer him my training as worship in his name. This isn't about performance or building up my frame. It's about communion, connecting with his name. When I can't find the words, I let my body pray. And God meets me there in the weight room every day.
And the peace of God, it transcends all understanding. Now guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. I was waiting for solutions, but he gave me something better.
I was praying for breakthrough, for the situation to change, for the circumstances to shift, for God to rearrange every detail of my struggle, every problem that I face. I wanted answers, solutions, issues to be erased, but the point staying, the situation remained the same. The mountain didn't move, the storm continued its rain, and I was frustrated, confused, wondering why God wasn't fixing, he wasn't changing the sky. There's something happened in the middle of my way, the supernatural calm that I can't quite articulate. The circumstances had a J, but something shifted inside, a peace that made no sense, so God to learn to reside. I still had questions, still had problems, still had pain, with anxiety was gone, replaced by something I can't explain. It wasn't relief because the situation was solved. It was rest in the midst of chaos, a peace that evolved.
You didn't change my circumstance, You changed my heart, gave me peace in the storm. Before the clouds went by, peace came before the answer, rest before the breakthrough. You gave me yourself when I was asking for the rescue. Situation stayed the same, and my soul found calm. 'Cause Jesus is the peace, not death was the losing to the problem. I learned that God's presence is better than answer prayer. That His peace in the middle is worth more than sound effects. Peace came before the answer, and I finally understand. He's not just fixing problems, He's holding my hand.
I used to measure God's faithfulness by how fast He answered me. Your prayers were granted quickly than He monthly please. But I'm learning that His timing isn't about my convenience. It's about my transformation up by teaching me dependence. Sometimes God delays the answer because He's giving something better. His presence in the waiting, His pitch in the pressure. He's teaching me that He's not just the problem solver in the sky. He's a father who wants relationship before He replies. It's been this command of J.D. Clinton stored for the model. God was teaching them to trust and to rely through the sorrow. Not self-sufficiency, keep rotating dependence on His grace. That's what I'm learning in the sun answer prayer space. So now when I'm playing, don't get what I'm asking for. I don't question if He hears me or if He cares anymore. I trust that He's giving me something deeper than solutions. He's giving me Himself, and that's the ultimate resolution.
You are better than the answer. Your presence beats the breakthrough. I'd rather have your peace than solutions without you. Teach me to rest in you, not just in what you do. To find my peace in who you are, not just in seeing things through. Peace came before the answer, rest before the breakthrough. Gave me yourself when I was asking for the rescue. Situations stay the same, but my soul found calm. 'Cause Jesus is the peace, not just a solution to the problem. I'm in God's presence, it's better than an answer prayer. That His peace in the middle is what more than all the fair. Peace came before the answer, and I finally understand. Now I see it ain't fixing problems, He's holding my hand.
Will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3. I'm discovering that Jesus isn't just the answer to my prayers, He is the answer. His presence is the code, not just His provision. His peace is the prize, not just His solutions. I can have peace in the storm, not because the storm is gone. Lord, because He's in the boat with me, I can rest in uncertainty. Not because I know the outcome, but because I know the one who holds the outcome. This changes everything, 'cause now I'm not just waiting for answered prayer. I'm experiencing God in the waiting, and His presence, His peace that transcends understanding. It's better than any answer I could receive. He is enough, even when nothing else changes. He is still enough.
And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age. Matthew 28:20. I was drowning in motivational speeches. What I needed was just to know He was there.
I consumed every message about rising and grinding. Read every book about mindset and finding the strength within, the power to push through. Downloaded every sermon about what I could do. Just believe more, just pray harder, just have more faith. Speak it into existence, claim it, don't wait. But none of it was working, I was still feeling empty. All the motivation in the world couldn't sustain me. I was exhausted from the hustle, from the constant self-improvement, from trying to feel inspired from the endless movement. I didn't need another 5 steps to break through. I didn't need another message about what I should do. What I needed was simple, but it felt profound. I didn't need motivation, I needed Him around. Not a pep talk, not a strategy, not a plan, just the quiet assurance that He's holding my hand. I don't need another speech, don't need another word. I just need to know You're here, that Your presence can be heard. I didn't need motivation, I needed presence.
The self-help gospel tells me I'm enough, I can do it, that I just need to tap into my power and pursue it. But the real gospel says I'm weak and that's okay, cause his strength is made perfect when I can't find my way. I don't need to be motivated to earn God's love, don't need to hustle for approval from above. He's not asking me to be inspired every day, he's just asking me to trust him when I don't know what to say. Christian culture told me hustle disguises devotion, told me faith was constant motion, perpetual motion. But Jesus says come rest, not come perform. He invites the weary to his presence, not to his platform. So I'm done with the pressure to always be on fire, done with feeling guilty when I'm tired. What I need isn't motivation that fades by noon, it's the steady presence of God that sustains me through. I'm not looking for a feeling, not chasing inspiration, I'm just seeking your presence, that's my true foundation. When motivation fails me and I can't muster the strength, your presence is enough, your nearness goes the length. I didn't need motivation, I needed presence. There's a message about my potential or essence. I need to know that when I'm weak and I can't stand, you're right here beside me, I'm not doing this alone, man. Your presence is the power, not my positive thinking. Your nearness is the anchor when my faith is sinking. I didn't need motivation, I needed presence, and that changes everything about this Christian experience. Everything changes. My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest. Exodus 33:14. The Christian self-help industry wants to sell me motivation, but what my soul really needs is God's presence without condition. I don't need 10 steps to victory, I need Jesus walking with me. I don't need another inspirational quote, I need to know I'm not alone. Motivation is temporary, it fades when circumstances change, but God's presence is constant, it remains through joy and pain. So I'm done consuming content that tells me to do more, be more. I'm learning to simply be with God and let his presence be enough. Because at the end of the day, when all the motivation runs dry, his presence is what sustains me, his nearness is what gets me by. I don't need to be inspired to be loved by him, I just need to be present and know that he is too.
If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot disown himself. 2 Timothy 2:13. I was ready to walk away from everything, but he never moved. Hey, I had one foot out the door, then with all of this, tired of trying to believe, tired of the miss. Between what they promised and what I was living, faith felt like taking when I had nothing left forgiving. I questioned everything I've been taught since I was young, wondered if this whole thing was just a song I sung without really meaning it, without it being true. If God was even real or just something I grew into it. The pain was overwhelming, the disappointment too deep, prayers felt like they hit the ceiling. Couldn't sleep, I was angry at the church, angry at the lies, angry at myself for believing in the time. But even in my doubt, even in my rage, even when I wanted to quit and turn the page, Jesus stayed right there, didn't move an inch. His love was independent on my faith, now I flinch. When I was ready to leave, you didn't let me go. When I lost all my faith, you held me even now. Jesus, stay with leaving, not without leaving. Oh yeah. When my faith was dying and I stopped believing, he didn't abandon me in my darkest hour. His faithfulness was stronger than my lack of power. I wanted to walk away, but he wouldn't let me fall. Held me in my unbelief as in my just a call. Jesus, stay when even I'm gonna believe it. And that's a testimony, I'm still breathing. Yeah, I stopped going to church, stopped reading the word, stopped praying altogether cause it felt absurd. To talk to someone I wasn't sure was listening, to believe in grace when all I felt was the distancing. But God pursued me, in my word and in my doubt. So people with his love when I was shutting out.
You circumstances could remind me he was damn. Even when I tried to act like I didn't care, I realize now that faith isn't a feeling I maintain. It's a personal remains, but I can't sustain the belief, the trust, the hope of God I needed. The faithfulness to me is what truly succeeds. I'm not glorifying my doubt or making it sound cool. I was being honest that I've been a fool. But almost threw away the realest thing I had. But Jesus stayed faithful when my faith went bad. You chased me in my brother, found me in my doubt. Your love never wavered even when I tried to get out. I can't take credit for staying cause I was ready to leave. And with your faithfulness to help me, your grace I now believe. Faithfulness was stronger than my last of power. I wanted to walk away, but he wouldn't let me fall. Help me in my unbelief, yes, I might just become. I gotta believe it. And that's the testimony, I'm still breathing. This is my story. I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. Jeremiah 31:3. I'm not proud of my doubt. I'm not celebrating my struggle. I'm testifying it was faithfulness. But mine was non-existent. There were days I didn't want this, didn't want him, didn't want faith. They never let me go. His love isn't dependent on my persistence. His faithfulness isn't moved by my doubt. His presence doesn't require my perfection. You stay, and that changes everything. Because now I know my faith isn't what holds. His faithfulness is what holds me. I can be honest about the darkness, about the doubt, about the moments I wanted to quit. Because his light shone brighter there. This isn't a story about my strength. It's a testimony about his. How did he hold on? He held me, and that's the blossom. Not that I chose him to stay faithful, but that he chose me to stay faithful anyway. On his doesn't depend on ours, even in our deepest doubt. When we're ready to walk away, he remains. This isn't a remains, a cessation of doubt, but a testimony to his unwavering love. Our faith may fail, but he can't lie, deny himself. His character is faithful, even when we are faithless. This is the true gospel. Not that we hold on to him, but that he holds on to us.